this particular conversation we're having is to talk about FreshBooks from the business owner's perspective. So let's say you are a business owner, you're a micro enterprise, you're a solopreneur, you're a service-based business. I'm being very clear about that type of that persona, that business persona, because I want to cover the business persona that fits both FreshBooks and QuickBooks. Now, QuickBooks has a much larger business persona because they have more versions of their software. So they can serve a completely different type of company, a completely different industry type, a lot more. So we want to go and just hone down on that particular business type. Micro enterprise, solopreneur, small business, maybe a mom and pop business, service based business that is looking for a software. So where they would start is they would say, okay, they'll do a Google and say, what are the best softwares out there? And again, they may see FreshBooks, they may see QuickBooks, they may see Zero, they may see Wave, they may see others, but we're just going to talk about FreshBooks and QuickBooks because those are really the top ones going on. Other than Zero is another one. And again, I will always give resources for Zero. People are interested in it. But the FreshBooks and QuickBooks are also the softwares I am aware of and that I'm an ambassador for both of them. So those are the ones I feel more comfortable sharing about. And also, those are the softwares I get most questions about. So that's why we're going to focus on those. Okay, so let's start here on FreshBooks. And again, this strategy that I'm going to show you right now is a strategy you can take with any accounting software, or for that matter, really with any application. So if you're looking for a specific application to serve a need in your business, you do your search, and then you start doing the comparison. So what does that software give you? What are their pricing models? What are their different plans? That they have different plans. So this entire strategy I'm giving you is really one that you can use on other type of assessments you're doing on softwares. But right now we're focusing specifically on this accounting general ledger software, and we're comparing FreshBooks versus QuickBooks and really seeing them both, not necessarily comparing them, but being able to make a better choice on which one serves our clients. Okay. So, or which one serves our business if we are a business owner, or our business clients if we're helping them with this decision. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are here on the FreshBooks page, and on the FreshBooks page, you're going to see, and this is the pricing page. I specifically went to the pricing page so it'd be easier to see the different plans. So they have a light plan, they have a plus plan, a premium plan, and a select plan. So again, I'm just going to give it to you straight. There's no reason for me to cherry coat this. The plus plan is really the best plan to start with. Okay. The reason why is because the light is essentially for you to just get a little light touch on how it works, but it's not going to serve you as a business owner. First of all, it limits you to how many clients you can serve. And most importantly, it's missing several important features like the full accounting module, which you're going to need. And you actually can't invite your accountant into the software, which is a big no-no. So if you want to collaborate with your accounting professional, your bookkeeping professional, your tax professional, you need to have a software that allows your file, basically, because it's an online file. So your data file needs to be a file that can be shared with somebody else. And so now the new systems for accounting systems like QuickBooks or FreshBooks is that you can share your file with your accounting professional. They can go in, they can help you, they can make adjustments, they can train you, so on and so forth. And so if you were in the light version, you cannot collaborate with your accounting professional. X that. We do not want that, right? We want anything. We want a software, and we want the version of the software where we can collaborate with our accounting professionals. So again, I would start on Plus. And to be honest, I don't really see any other need to go anywhere else. And the beauty of these kind of softwares where you can start in a package or a plan and go up is that you will learn when you need those additional features. So this is pretty much everything you need, this plus for $33. And so if you decide or you start feeling you need more, it will become obvious, right? It'll become obvious that you have to do an add-on Or for example, here is like a comparison what with things that you don't go, why you would go from plus to premium. So for example, I want to customize my email templates. Well, you may not necessarily need to do that anytime soon. I want to remove the FreshBooks branding for my client emails. I mean, who cares, right? So why would I want to pay go from $33 to $60, like, oh, like pretty much 50% higher, so pay over 100% more, to just have these additional features that I'm not sure about yet. So again, this is a good concept of like, getting to the plan that serves you now, and then as you start moving up and as you start realizing, hey, I have limitations or I'm not able to do this, then I would say first talk to a FreshBooks salesperson, or in our case, it's talk to a FreshBooks expert, a bookkeeper that's using FreshBooks, and say, hey, is this a limitation I have, or is there a better workaround for that? Or do I actually have to move to the next premium package? Because again, as you can see here, that is an investment. So we always budget these amounts. So right now it's also budget time. We're in November, December is budgeting time for the following year for your business. So that's a big difference, a $33 budget a month versus a $60 budget a month. So again, those are the kind of things you want to think about. Of course, if most applications or programs, if you click on yearly, you will get a nice discount for the year. So a few dollars less if you pay the annual amount. So again, that's even more reason why you want to make sure, start at the package you want, and then you could always move into the other one. But again, clearly you can see, would you rather pay $356 because you're going to use all those features? Or would you rather pay almost $650 and not use all those features? So that doesn't make sense, right? So going back to Plus, that's pretty much the version that you can start with. Again, light is exactly that. Hey, go in there, see what it looks like, get your feet wet, but you will be limited really fast. So it makes sense for you to go into Plus. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick behind the scenes of the software, because I think also it's like, okay, I get it. This is maybe the best version for me, but let me go ahead and take a look at it. So I'm going to do that. But just for 1 second, I want to show you something else. So sometimes when you're on these, pricing pages or these compare plan pages, the software will also try to guide you. So for example, do you see how it says freelancers? Well, if you're a freelancer, you probably would want light or plus. Again, I don't know any reason why you'd want light. I mean, maybe you only have one client. So if you only have one client and you don't really want to work with your accountant at all, maybe that makes sense, right? But again, I feel like plus would be best for both, for freelancers, for self-employed, for businesses with contractors. So here's a good example. So the reason why they're saying use premium, because the premium will have more features that allow you, let's say, to pay your contractors or to track project profitability. And so if they believe that you're trying to track those that profit by contractor, by jobs, they're saying you're probably better off in premium. But to be honest, you probably could start in Plus, figure out what your accounting workflows are, what are your accounting tasks, how you're really building out your business on the financial side. And then if you feel like you need Plus, then you can use Plus. And then of course, businesses that are scaling or growing with more employees, they're going to probably say premium or select. Oh, they're just saying select. So again, sometimes look for those features on those sales pages to see how they could also help you, guide you on what's the best version for your business. Or again, if you are consulting your client, if you're an accountant, bookkeeper, or tax professional, or a small business advisor consulting your client on which FreshBooks version to use, this is this is the strategy you use when you start choosing the best version. So now let's go ahead and look at FreshBooks. So we are in FreshBooks, and some really cool things about FreshBooks, and really, again, about accounting softwares in general. Accounting softwares, or at least the majority of them, have become really good at having nice, clean interfaces. Let's start on the top of the menu. So when it comes to FreshBooks, you want to start at the top of your menu. So you basically are going and taking a top-down approach, which again is very similar to most accounting softwares. You usually either have like a left-hand navigation and you go from top to bottom, or you may have a menu on top and you're kind of going from left to right. But again, there's usually there's a very cool logical sequence that you can use and learn, which is very helpful. So when it comes to FreshBooks, you got your dashboard. On your dashboard, that's exactly what it is. Again, I'm going to start from scratch when it comes to starting to train you on FreshBooks. And so this is a brand new file with nothing in it. That's very intentional. So that way we can start building out this file together. So this is a completely clean file. And eventually there'll be things here in my dashboard where I can see my outstanding invoices. I can see my revenue and expenses, my monthly recurring revenue. I can see my total profit, so on and so forth. Then you go down to the next area. And these are pretty much these kind of top areas in FreshBooks with these drop downs where you can do more. So here is where you would do your invoices. And invoices is really the magic of FreshBooks, meaning when FreshBooks designed its software many, many years ago, I think over 2 decades now, over at least 2 decades, they were in invoice software for contractors, for freelancers, for service-based entrepreneurs. And so that's where they put a lot of their design and their efforts is in the invoice area. So again, they've really spent time on being able to create invoices, beautify your invoices, send invoices electronically, all of that good stuff. Then you have options as well to capture payments. So when you're capturing payments from an invoice as well. You also have access to expenses. And now expenses are essentially just really tracking the money out in the business. And so you're going to want to spend some time really learning the expense module. We'll spend some time in separate videos, and I'll also recommend other videos that'll be helpful for you to learn the way expenses work here inside of FreshBooks. And then you have the accounting module or the accounting area, which of course for me is my favorite part because no legitimate general ledger system, if a system calls itself an accounting system or a general ledger system, it needs to have accounting functions. It needs to have a chart of accounts. It needs to have things like being able to journalize or create journal entries for transactions that happen that are maybe traditional money in, money out transactions. It needs to have, that would be like a journal entry. It needs to have reports. So reports that are financial reports, your profit and loss report, your balance sheet report, your general ledger report. A really cool report is like the audit log where you're seeing everything that's happening to the business in and out. And so when a general ledger accounting software really has all of that information, then it's a legitimate general ledger accounting software. If it doesn't have the accounting features, if it doesn't have a chart of accounts, if you can't do journal entries, if you can't see the behind the scenes of what's called a full general ledger transaction, which is it's got the debit and the credit, which makes it a double-sided entry transaction. And if it doesn't have reports that are the essential key financial reports, like the balance sheet, the profit and loss, the general ledger, the cash flow. And again, there could be some additional really great ones like an audit log where you could see money in and money out. If a system doesn't have that, it's not an accounting system. It could be a cash accountability system. It could be a money tracking system. Okay, that's all fine, but it's not a general ledger system. So I say that very clearly because there's other softwares or versions of softwares that call themselves accounting general ledger systems, but they're not because they don't have those very key required items in their system. And so I just wanted to be very clear about that, not only for the business owner, right? But also for your accountant, bookkeeper, and tax professional, if they're saying, hey, I want you to use a general ledger system, this is why they put you on a FreshBooks or a QuickBooks or a Xero or a specific software that has the general ledger capability. So that's very important to understand. Okay. And so that's, again, the very simple behind the scenes of FreshBooks. Again, we will go into several videos to go deep into each one of these areas, but I just wanted you to get the look and feel of the software when I covered the pricing. So now we're going to do the same thing with QuickBooks. We're going to do the same exact thing with QuickBooks. We're going to look at it from a perspective of a business owner that is trying to choose their software. And they get on the QuickBooks website, and I mean, they probably get super overwhelmed, which happens all the time, because they're not sure which software to use. So let's cover the concept and the process of choosing the right QuickBooks software. So first, same idea. You can go to QuickBooks pricing if you like, and you can look at the pricing. It's going to kind of do the same process with you. It's going to say, hey, depending on what type of business you are and what you're looking for, here are some things in your plan. So if you are, again, we're only comparing that concept of that service-based business and that micro enterprise and solopreneur business. QuickBooks does serve an entirely different business model, much bigger businesses, what are called, that smaller mid-sized business, that scaling business, or that business that's really growing into an enterprise size business. It absolutely has a solution for that. And also it has a solution for those that are not service-based, that are product-based, that are selling a product and selling a service, possibly doing both, inventory, all of that good stuff. That's not the FreshBooks niche though. So we're just going to focus on the comparative versions of QuickBooks for that same business model, the service-based micro enterprise, solopreneur, small business. That's who we're going to focus on. But again, I want to make sure you understand that, of course, QuickBooks Online has the versions for the larger businesses, the larger business owners, the scaling business, the product business, the business that's holding inventory. And so it has that, absolutely. But of course, that means you're going to be going into their higher level versions of QuickBooks. So let's compare what would be, or let's give you an example of what would be the right version for that service-based micro enterprise solopreneur. So you have Simple Start. And again, I also want to show you that sometimes it's not that easy to find it. Intuit has this thing where they have it on different pages, and that kind of makes things confusing. So that's another reason why I want to do this video for you, because I want to like show you where everything is, and then I will also drop links so it's easier for you to find them. Okay, going back to it. So Simple Start. Simple Start is absolutely an amazing option for you as a service-based solopreneur micro enterprise business. So Simple Start allows you to have one user. So, and by the way, I want to just make sure really quickly, that these are also one users, but if you want to add more users, which means add team members, you'd have to pay for each additional team member. So this only provides you the one user, and it provides you the inviting the accountant, okay, for FreshBooks. Now let's go back to QuickBooks. So for QuickBooks, you can use Simple Start, which is perfect for the service-based business. It has all of the bells and whistles of what's required for a general ledger system, all of the reports, the general ledger system, the chart of accounts, the really being able to customize that system to serve you, being able to capture both money in, revenue related transactions, money out, all your expenses, being able to capture your all types of expenses, including capturing receipts for the expenses, which is really cool. Being able to capture your mileage. So there's mileage tracking in there. And you can even do bills in there. So all of that is in Simple Start. Okay. And so a really great option for you. Again, this is a one user show. So only one user, only one login, but you can invite up to two accountants. So you can invite two different users, and maybe your bookkeeper and then your tax professional. And so that's a really good option for you. Now, when I'm showing you the prices on this particular Intuit website, they will always give you like a promo price for up to 2 months or 3 months, or usually it's 3 months is the max. I'm going to provide you a separate link. I just wanted to show you where my promotion that I can give you, right? The option that I can give you will be for 30% for 12 months. So basically you can get a better price for longer using my link. And so that's really a gift for me to give to you. There are a few, when you go into the higher versions, I do get a affiliate fee for that, but for the lower versions, I don't get anything. I don't get any, compensation, but for me, I don't care. I just want you to get the better deal. So I just want to let you know that you have those options for a better pricing when I drop the link in the video. So the other option you have is Essentials. So Essentials is very similar to Simple Start. The difference between Essentials and Simple Start, the big difference is you actually get 3 users. So you get 3 users versus 1 user, which is really good if you want other people helping you. Maybe you're going to hire an admin and you want them in there. Maybe you have, 1 or 2 people working in your business. Maybe you're a partnership. Maybe you're not a solopreneur. Maybe it's you and your partner or you and your spouse, and you both want to be able to log in and not use the same login. Maybe you want to hire a virtual assistant of some kind. So for all those reasons, you may want to have more than 1 user logging in. Also, when it comes to the audit log, when you know people are making changes and updates, you would want 2 users, because if there's 2 different people making changes, you probably want to track who's making the changes. And so having a separate user will be able to track the user's name and know who inputted what, who deleted what, who voided what. So that's important. And so again, you have the option to have 3 users, and there's a few, kind of more minor changes or kind of upgrades that you're getting from Simple Start to Essentials. But to be honest, you could start at Simple Start, and if you don't feel like you need any of the other stuff in Essentials, you can stay there. Really, the main reason why I see people move from Simple Start to Essentials is the 3 users. Multiple currencies, most people do not need multiple currencies, but if they do, that would be another reason why they would move from Simple Start to Essentials. But you could see it's quite a jump, even financially for a budget. You're going from, when you get to the regular price, from $35, $40, because QuickBooks does increase the prices quite a bit and quite often, at least annually. So let's say you are paying $35, $40 for Simple Start, you'd be paying $65, $70 for Essentials. So again, same example I gave you over here. Here I was telling you start with Plus and then move to Premium only if you need to. Same example. Here you could start with Simple Start, move to Essentials only if you need to. Now, Plus is a great version. There are service-based businesses that use Plus. Usually the main reason why a service-based business would use Plus is, again, you get more users, you get 5 users, and then you get what's called project profitability. So you can really go deeper on comparing your different jobs, comparing the profitability for each job. You can start looking at your business by classification, by location. You can departmentalize your business to see the different segments of your business. So there are some cool features that you can use once you're really building and scaling your service-based business, but by no means do I believe you need to start there at all. So again, you could start at a $35, $40 a month plan, or even if you paid annually, right? This is buy now for the 3 months. You can, that's what it is. So you could either choose to get the free trial for 30 days, and buy now for 50% off for 3 months, or you can, if you get, so for instance, here at this point, you'll get the 50% for 3 months, and then it'll go to $35, or you can get $35 now. So like, let's just go ahead and go now. It's up to you, right? It's up to you on how you want to buy it. But again, I will go ahead and give you the link where it's going to let you try it for free no matter what. And then after a month, after you've tried it for free, if you want it, then you would pay this amount for the next 12 months, which is pretty cool. And again, I'll give that to you all in this video. So that is really the comparison between FreshBooks and QuickBooks. Now, I am going to show you a QuickBooks version that is only for the accountant version, just because I want to be clear about there's a couple other versions that you won't see here on this page that are really important to be aware of. The first one I'm going to share with you is one that's specifically designed for, they call it the self-employed or solopreneur. That's why they call it solopreneur. And then the second one I'm going to show you is only for accountants, bookkeepers, and tax professionals that are using QuickBooks, and they can actually purchase this version on the side of their own platform, which is called their accountant dashboard. So a business owner can't buy that version, but I just want to mention it so that way, if you are aware of it and you're an accountant, bookkeeper, or tax professional watching, you can learn more about that version. So let's start with solopreneur. So QuickBooks Solopreneur is a separate version of QuickBooks Online, and it is separate. That's why it's not in this suite, right? It's not in the suite, but it is actually built off of the platform. So let's say if you use Solopreneur and you want to move on, you actually can't upgrade it to one of the other softwares. So it looks like when you're in it, It looks similar. Now, this one is giving you a promotion of $10 a month for the first 3 months and then $20 a month after. So it's the lowest of all the versions, right? This is $20 a month version versus Simple Start is $35 a month. But here is my big issue with Solopreneur, okay? And I'm hoping Intuit listens. I've already let them know. And here's my biggest issue with Solopreneur, okay? Well, actually, I have a few big issues with Solopreneur. The first big issue with Solopreneur is that it doesn't have all of the necessary reports that every business owner, even a solopreneur, even a self-employed business owner, even a Schedule C, it doesn't matter if they're just filing the Schedule C profit and loss. Every business owner should have legitimate financial reports. They should have a general ledger report. They should have a balance sheet report. They should have a cash flow report, like at the bare minimum. And Solopreneur does not give you that. It is limited in their reports. And the big one that I have an issue with is that there's no balance sheet. And you can't have a business where you could only see one side of their business, which is the profit and loss, because the other side of their business is their balance sheet. And everything that's happening on the balance sheet is really being driven by the profit and loss. So all of the revenue expenses are actually being reflected on the balance sheet because those are where all your cash accounts are. That's where all the money in and out is. And so it doesn't make sense to not give a business owner visibility on both financial statements. That's my number one big issue. So I don't recommend Solopreneur. The second reason why I don't recommend Solopreneur is even though I get this concept of like, we don't want to give them a chart accounts because we want to just have a set category and everything has to go in the set categories because it's easier for them to file their taxes. But many solopreneur businesses should have access to create their own chart of accounts, like name what it looks like, it makes sense for them, and then allow them to see those accounts on their balance sheet and the profit and loss. Well, Solopreneur does not let you do that. You cannot create a chart of accounts. You can't adjust the categories. I have an issue with that. And so again, because of that, I don't recommend Solopreneur, even though if it fixed those two things, there's another issue I have with it, but it's not that big. And it's that you can't do bank reconciliations in there, which I think is so important for any accounting software, whether it's a cash accountability software, which is really what Solopreneur is. It's just managing cash in and cash out, money in, money out. You should still be able to reconcile your bank and your credit cards at the bare minimum. You can't do that in Solopreneur. So again, as an accountant and as someone that is an advocate for small business owners wanting to do their books the right way, the tax-ready books way, I just can't like ethically recommend Solopreneur because of those big gaps in the system at this point. But hopefully they will fix that and then we will be good to go because the pricing is awesome. Now, the last one that I want to cover in this video is QuickBooks Ledger, and I am obsessed with QuickBooks Ledger, okay? I love the concept they did here. They basically created like a mini version of QuickBooks for us accountants, bookkeepers, and tax professionals that have clients that don't want to get out of their spreadsheets, don't want to get out of paper and pen, but they gave us the bare minimum of what we need to do the books for a business, which again, is the financial statements we need, is the bank reconciliation we need, the money in and money out features we need. All of that is in QuickBooks Ledger, so we can do real tax-ready books for clients. But this version is only available for an accountant to buy it and serve their client. It's not available for a business owner to use. Pricing is $10, which is just absolutely incredible. And also it has everything you need as an accountant, bookkeeper, tax professional, serve your clients. Now, if you want to learn more about QuickBooks Ledger, you can come to my Master Your Books YouTube channel. So you just go to youtube.com/Master Your Books. I'll also drop a link in this video, and you can look up the playlist called QuickBooks Ledger, where I'm going through and I'm making several videos as a series of videos on how to use QuickBooks Ledger. And you can tell in the videos I'm very excited about it. Also, if you want to learn more about QuickBooks in general, also I have some videos on QuickBooks under QuickBooks videos. And then lastly, I also have QuickBooks online certification videos for my accountants that want to get accountants, bookkeepers, tax professionals that want to get QuickBooks Online certified. But I will say that as of November of 2024, the certification has changed quite a bit. So some of the concepts are the same based on the videos that I made, but they're no longer doing these webinars where you can kind of follow along and then get ready for the exam. Now it's a whole different way to take and prepare for the exams, and I'll be teaching that in a separate video, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay, everyone. So that's that. That is the review of, thinking about FreshBooks as an option for your business, thinking about QuickBooks as an option for your business. Again, going super, super focused on that type of business that we want to talk about, which is that service-based, micro enterprise, solopreneur, micro business, and them making the choice on whether they use FreshBooks or whether they use QuickBooks. And then again, using that same strategy I showed you of going through the pricing page, looking at the packages. And in my case, I even showed you a little behind the scenes on the software and saying, hey, you know what? This feels good. Feels like something I can look at. And I can consider for my business. And then when in doubt, everyone, like if you're watching this video, just ask me in the comments of the video too. I mean, that's why I'm doing this for you, because I am using both. So FreshBooks I've been using for about a year or so now. I've joined their ambassador program. I'm a FreshPack ambassador, which means I'm part of their accountant council. QuickBooks I've been using for over 20 years. And I was also previously an Intuit trainer, training across the nation, live and in conferences and also virtually. And so you can definitely ask me questions about that as well. Okay, everyone, so that is what we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to do a separate video to cover their academies, the education and resources they have, but I hope you got a lot out of this video. Let me know if you have any questions below, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.